today with a professional grade optic from the company Cyelee, but still coming in at a very good value. This is the brand new Ghost HDG, and I've been testing Cyelee optics since their original optics, and every single iteration keeps getting better and better, and they've released an entire lineup of these drop-proof optics with drop-proof ratings on actual cement. And we are going to be testing that in today's video where we drop this optic on cement. Now, if you follow the channel, you'll already know that we have been doing this test and kind of standardized the test on the channel for drop-proof rated optics, and this is the Cyelee Bowl. Now, the other cool thing about Cyelee is they're always creating discount codes specifically for my users to save money, and this generally sells for about $338, but after the discount codes, it will be well below $300, so definitely check those in the description below. I'm not saying specific codes because they will be changing, and I will update the code list as they change throughout the future, but just know you can save money by utilizing the link in the description. Now, this is pretty cool because it takes the Cyelee Bowl design with the RMR footprint and shrinks it down into a more manageable size for actual duty use or carry. I would recommend this for like a professional grade competition optic that can clearly take hits and keep on functioning. And that same technology has carried over into the Ghost HDG, making it probably one of my go-to optics for RMR cut footprints. And I say probably because we have to do the drop test still. I don't take people's words for it. We're going to take this down to the range and abuse it. But on paper, and after seeing the drop-proof rating of some of their other optics, I have no doubt in my mind this will succeed, but we are still going to push it to the limits. The other cool thing Cyelee did on this Ghost HDG was really add a ton of specs and features into this package just to cover every single basis of things that I want to see. A nice push button design operation. This one also features two reticles, or three reticles really. It's the 2 MOA dot, the 26 MOA circle, or a combination of both the dot and the circle, and it gets insanely bright down at the range with having ultra clear glass and no edge distortion. I mean, look at that right there. This dot does not shift or distort, and the glass is incredibly clear, some of the clearest glass I've seen. On top of that, it's a low profile design allowing you to co-witness your suppressor height iron sights, and that works out great. You can also sight it in very simply with the exposed turrets on the side, and they actually have clicking and audible and tactile detents to them so you can feel the clicks, and a side load battery compartment. Again, Cyelee is just killing it with every aspect of this optic. Now, we've already been running it a lot thanks to Callaway Ballistics. Now, I've also been pushing these daggers to the limit with the drop tests that I've been doing, so definitely check them out, as well as the Olight PL3 has taken some hits and keeps on running. If you're looking for a high value setup, this is it right here. If you want more information on the dagger or the Olight, you can actually check out the campsite page in the description below and get a setup like this for some incredibly low prices, making it some of the best times to grab budget 9s and the optics from Cyelee to go on top of them. Now, Callaway Ballistics also has the code 704TACTICAL for 5% off and free shipping on orders over $200, so definitely check it out. One thing to note though is on this optic, it does shift forward of a traditional RMR footprint, which is no big deal for a traditional gun. Now, some of the PSA daggers have the sight sitting in front of the optics cut. You're going to run into that sight with this style optic, but a lot of optics will run into that sight as well, so something to consider. But for a traditional RMR cut handgun like this PSA dagger slide, it is absolutely perfect, and again, a high value pair. But enough talking, let's head down to the range one more time and put this thing through some very tough and difficult drops and see how it performs. So I've been beating this up down at the range. You can see some of the abuse, but now for the official torture test to begin. I'm going to fire the first 3 shots on camera to confirm 0. Then we're going to beat this thing up and confirm 0 as we go. Let's take some of the first shots of the torture test. So now we've dinged it up, racked it on the wood, smacked it against the car. Let's see if it shifted 0. Still holding up great. So that was about 6 drops on concrete. Honestly, I kind of lost count. I just started dropping it. And the glass is fully intact with no issues whatsoever. It's absolutely held up great. You definitely see some finish wear, nicks and dings on here, but overall the condition is still good. Let's confirm 0. And it's great. Now, I'm not sure if that's a flyer or what, but this is still an amazingly tight group. And if we did have a shift in 0, it was a very small one, if that. I mean, 6 drops on concrete. The thing still works and hits pretty much at the point of aim. That's a pretty good test. So I am back from the range and this thing performed phenomenally. The other thing I forgot to mention, it comes with all of these screws. Every screw under the sun in different lengths for different mounting platforms. Cyelee really knows what they're doing. Now this gun took some even more abuse. I mean, this thing was hit hard and this optic was spared nothing. Dropped on that cement at least 6 times on camera, racked against wood, slammed against the car, and in fact, it actually went through kind of a mini torture test before that. I like to push them to the limits to see what they're capable of, and then I wanted to document everything on camera so you guys could see a step-by-step analytical approach to my testing. Again, racking on something hard to protect the front lens. It did a great job. No issues there, no scratches or anything on the lens. You can see it's just as clear as when we started. Then I started throwing it against the car hood, which would simulate minor bumps. I mean, every optic should withstand the racking and the car hood. This one did phenomenally. And then the drop on cement. You can see some pretty big gouges were taken out of the hoods, but the protective hoods did their job perfectly. You can also see how the battery compartment is recessed, which was also protected from the side drops, as well as the push buttons were recessed and protected from the slide drops. I also co-witness everything before I come in, and you can see everything is still perfectly lined up. Now, it's going to be one of those things that we take it down to the range, we run a ton of rounds through it, and we do the drop testing, and nothing is going to be exactly the same every drop test because of the way we're dropping it. But man, the last 2 that we've done with Cyelee have taken some pretty darn hard hits and survived amazingly well. I mean, if you look at other drop tests of different optics on other channels, a lot of optics break, even high-end optics break, but these new Cyelee options with those protective hoods are just continuously doing incredibly well, taking hit after hit, and they just keep on working. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope it gives you another high-value, professional-grade optic for your setup. Again, auto-on, auto-off technology, 50,000 hour battery life, very bright dot, circle dot reticle system, IPX waterproof rating, a low profile design for co-witness, and side load battery compartment. It's hard to beat this optic, especially at the price. Thanks for watching, and again, all of the information and codes will be in the description below. Have a good one.